Every Hornet fan will remember this game for years to come. 51 consecutive wins going all the way back to season 7. We went up I-85. We took on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets right in the middle of downtown Atlanta. Beautiful stadium, by the way. And we got the W. Yeah, we had some questionable play calls. Yeah, we let a few touchdowns get there. Very easy for Georgia Tech. But in the end, we found the way to win. Rhyming accidentally. What a performance by Alabama State on the road. Let's take a look at the rest of the stats, though. I want y'all to see this. Total offense, 474 to 270. We rushed for over 200 yards on the ground. The thing was, we let them get back in the game too much, man. We just kept giving up big plays. That was the biggest problem. Look at that. We even had 4 sacks on Georgia Tech. And on top of that, I believe we had, 3 turnovers? If my memory is correct. And then, of course, the biggest stat, in my opinion, is the 4th down conversions. We were 3 for 4 on 3rd down conversions. We didn't convert the last one, though. But this game was crazy, man. An absolutely crazy game. Excellent game. That's one a lot of people will be talking about for a very long time. Dan Finnerty didn't have a really good game, but that was mainly because the wide receivers kept dropping the ball so much. Dan Finnerty had 3 touchdown passes, all 3 going to Sheldon Money Green. Brooke Thompson, with the biggest run of his collegiate career, finished with 110 yards on 5 carries. And then on top of that, nobody fumbled. That's the biggest stat of the game, in my opinion, because they was knocking us out, man. Sheldon Money Green with one of the best games of his career, 8 receptions, 186 yards and 3 tutties. And then after that, everybody else just kept dropping the ball. Patrick Collier didn't catch a pass in this game. Kevin Garnett Humphrey dropped some passes. We tried to get Brian Cook involved, but we just couldn't, man. The pass game just wasn't on it in this game. We didn't allow a sack on the offensive line. On the defensive side of the ball, though, we did get a couple of sacks. We did get 3 turnovers, but in the end, we gave up too many big plays in this game. And then, of course, how can we forget? We gave up that big run on special teams right before halftime. So, nevertheless, we got work to do, but still happy that we pulled off that win. So as you see, Georgia Tech fell to 7, and we're still ranked as the #1 team in the country. Prairie View A&M and Texas Southern meet in their annual rivalry game. Prairie View wins. Bethune-Cookman finished the season at 4-7. Alcorn State beat them. Alabama A&M finishes at 9-2. The Bulldogs' best record since the start of this series. Florida A&M finishes at 4-7. Southern's 0-11. My goodness. And then look at that. Jackson State reaches bowl eligibility. Arkansas Pine Bluff finishes at 2-9 after losing to Cincinnati. Meanwhile, over at the MEAC, Missouri beat Hampton. Then we go down in South Bend. South Carolina State beat Notre Dame. And then TCU beats Tennessee State. Notre Dame has really fallen off. So with us beating Georgia Tech, Ohio State is now in that #2 spot. Georgia Tech fell to the #7. A lot of teams actually had chances to make that national championship game. And I know Georgia Tech is kicking themselves in the foot after losing to us. LSU is at 9. Oklahoma's at #10. Now, somebody asked me in the comment section of the last video, would I be continuing NCAA 06 content when the new game comes out, EA Sports College Football 25 in July? And I said, hell yeah. Because we got a lot of plans, man. We got a lot of plans, especially since we just found out that the FCS teams won't even be in the new video game. So there goes Sheldon Money Green on top of the Heisman Trophy watch list. Michael Dukes, redshirt senior quarterback for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, in 2nd place. Jason Davis of Michigan in 3rd. Michael Edwards in 4th place. David Kraft, the running back from Ohio State, redshirt sophomore, having an excellent season. So nothing's really changed on the awards. Kevin Jackson still #1 for the Benerick Award, and Sheldon Money Green still #1 for the Biletnikoff Award, aka Best Wide Receiver. Florida A&M quarterback Terrell Byrd wins SWAC Offensive Player of the Week. Chris Gibson of Alcorn State wins Defensive Player of the Week in the SWAC. My goodness, look at Byrd. 35, 41, 416, and 5 tutties. He went off. Now we got Derek Moreau and David Ostrom of South Carolina State and Tennessee State winning offensive and defensive MEAC Players of the Week. You got Moreau coming in 17 of 18. He only missed on one target against Notre Dame. And of course, through 2 touchdown passes. Notre Dame has been so horrible in this series. But hey, you saw the Dynasty. Notre Dame's just terrible all through the game for some reason. So we got Alcorn State winning the SWAC East. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we was hoping Alabama A&M would get their stuff together, and they did need some help from other teams to beat Alcorn State, but we didn't get that. So it looks like the Alcorn State Braves are on their way to Detroit, Michigan. Alabama State holding down the fort in the SWAC West, win it by 3 games. Jackson State came in second place. And over in the MEAC, you see Tennessee State looks like they're going to win the MEAC once again. Tennessee State, no doubt Tennessee State is the program to beat in the MEAC. They have won it so many times now. San Diego State are winners of the Mountain West Conference. They're the Mountain West champs, finishing the season at 9-2, 7-1 in conference play. And they only won it by 2 games. That's what's up. Oregon State wins the Pac-10 once again. I believe this is their, second or third time winning it in this series. Great job that was. Remember, last year was Cal. So there goes Tennessee State holding up the trophy right there. Officially MEAC champions, finishing the season at 7-4, 6-1 in conference play. Meanwhile, Fresno State win the WAC 9-2 overall, 7-1 in conference play. Big Ten is won by the Ohio State Buckeyes, and it looks like they might be on their way to the national championship game. The Big East is won by the Cincinnati Bearcats. I believe they won it last year too, if my memory is correct. 10-1, 7-0 in conference play. They did an excellent job up there in Cincinnati, Ohio. Let's take one last look at the Heisman watch list before championship week. So we got Sheldon Money-Green. Nothing has really changed. It's still the same. Sheldon Money-Green is still holding on to that #1 spot. So this is what conference championship week is going to look like. We're taking on the Alcorn State Braves in Detroit, Michigan. And then you go down to Atlanta, Georgia. You got the LSU Tigers and the Florida Gators meeting up once again. I believe they met up last year. Texas A&M and Nebraska will meet up in Houston, Texas for the Big 12 championship game. And then, of course, out in Jacksonville, Wake Forest is taking on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. And out in Dallas, Texas, Marshall is taking on SMU, Southern Methodist University. So we're going back to Motown, a.k.a. ASU Stadium Midwest. We are taking on the Alcorn State Braves. And the last time we played them, we had no troubles. But that doesn't mean Alcorn State doesn't have any caliber players. I believe they did have an impact player that was injured. I'm assuming that he will be back in this game. But we have the tools to do what hasn't been done in a while here at Alabama State. The goal is to get back to the Natty, which will be played in Arizona. Remember, last time we was down there, we got ran off the field by LSU. But in order to get there, we must win the SWAC championship game in Detroit, a.k.a. ASU Stadium Midwest. The Hornets are coming in with all the tools. We're coming off a big win. We just want to carry it over on to the next week in Detroit, Michigan. We will see y'all in Motown. Detroit, Michigan will be the scene for the SWAC championship game as we get set to take on the Alcorn State Braves. Join us, will you? Peace.